Hello everyone, this is Persephone, and today I'm going to make one of the more strict videos. I haven't made one in quite some time, but because I'm back on Nightflirt full time and I get tons and tons of creepy people in all of my socials, today I'm going to give these men the benefit of the doubt and just assume that no one ever explained to them that what they do is super creepy and they need to stop. So, from time to time, I come across men who say things like, I'm trying so hard with women, and I'm nice, and I spend money on them, and I do everything the manosphere is telling me, and I still get blocked, or I get insulted, or I get harassed by the same women in some way. And I don't know why this happens. So I try to not block or harass or be toxic to men to a logical degree. But there are some behaviors that they are repeated over and over, and they got to a point that it's driving me nuts. So I'm going to share it here, and if you find yourself engaging in any kind of behavior like that, this doesn't mean that you consider you a bad person or I hate you. I don't hate anyone. This video is aiming to help you, but you need to stop. Behavior number 1. Calling me on Nightflirt, and your very first question is, hi, where are you located? This makes you sound like, at best, as a desperate loser, and at worst, as a human trafficker, or some kind of serial killer. That the people who do that know very, very well that these sites are not dating sites, they're not a Plenty of Fish, Tinder, meet for a hookup type of site. And they also know that when you join this site as a woman, you're not allowed to meet men from the site. I know some people do it. I know some people break the rules, and in anything you're going to find people breaking the rules. Like, for example, we're not supposed to take drugs and drive and kill people without bad driving, but there are people who drive under the influence and they end up in prison. So when I hear that nonsense, where are you located, and I say to people, it doesn't matter because we're not going to meet, the next answer is, Mistress Violet, 1998, has been meeting me for sex. And that may or may not be true, but I couldn't care less what she does, her life, her risk. So the men who do that, they belong to several categories. Category number 1 is the human trafficker / serial killer. Category number 2 is the entitled guy who thinks that this is some kind of escort service. Nothing against escorting, but campsites are not for escorting. And category number 3 is the people who genuinely think that they are special and you cannot wait to meet them for free sex. Although in their entire state, because it's Americans who do that mostly, not even a single woman wants to meet them for sex, but you will drive from a different continent to do so. Please try to get in the shoes of a woman for 2 minutes. That I don't know of a single woman from 18 to 70 years old that hasn't been catcalled, harassed, sexually abused, assaulted, stalked. Something horrible has happened to every single woman that I know, from less serious to life-threatening, and I won't even talk about the women who didn't make it. So we are raised from a very young age to protect ourselves. You're not supposed to give to total strangers your location. And now you're going to say, oh my God, Persephone, is your paranoid schizophrenia acting out again? How can I find you from just a location? You're right. If I tell you I live in Texas, you cannot find me just from that. But if you have my name, if you have my face, if you have my voice, the more information you have about someone, the easier it becomes to find them. I had people finding me from other countries. So I don't see why I need to give you unnecessary information or you need to ask for it. And even if you have the best of intentions, acting like a turbo desperate for hookup on steroids loser, even if I was going to meet someone, I'm not going to meet you. That's a turn off. Category number 2. The losers on YouTube. I had someone who messaged me and he said you should get a normal job. Please forward the very, very long comment to the IRS and tell them that what I do is not a normal job because in October I had to file taxes. And no, I'm not American, but YouTube is an American company, so I have to pay taxes. So send them your heartfelt opinion about what I do isn't a job so I can become tax exempt and I can do it as a hobby and keep all of the money. If you cannot do that, kindly stay silent. There are these categories of omega males. They are not subs. They are clearly not alpha because I don't know of a single alpha, tall, handsome, successful man sitting down to write 4-paragraph YouTube comments. I don't know what they are. humanoid centipedes. If I say that, I'm going to be like punished again for hate speech. No. There's some weird category of social justice warrior, trolling, and also being masochist, because you say that I'm talking crap nonstop and you're sitting here watching all of that crap and writing down your opinions to send them to me. You know, when I see these people, as narcissistic as that may sound, I feel so successful and so normal and so healthy that it's actually an energy boost. Because I'm thinking, wow, even I don't do that. If I don't like a creator, I'm not going to sit down to watch 40 minutes of their bullshit and write letter levels of content. I'm just going to unsubscribe, move on, and watch someone I actually like and I actually want to support. But it seems that common sense is becoming like extinct these days. So if you are a man, doesn't matter if you're alpha or beta, if you are a human being and you don't want to be seen as nuts and pathetic by everyone else around you, try to adopt common sense, which means, would I say this to someone if we were face to face? If the answer is no, don't write it. Do I have endless time to waste in content or in ideas or in actions that I don't enjoy and they don't give me any kind of benefit? For example, you may not enjoy working out, but you do it because you want to lose weight. You do it for your health. Fair. You don't enjoy the shit that I've been talking on the internet for years and you sit down and watch every video. Don't do that. Even though I'm going to get paid for the views, still don't do that. That's disturbed. Another category that appears very creepy, and this time I'm going to speak with specific examples. Obviously, I'm not going to mention people's names or identifying information because it's their privacy, but I cannot stop myself. I'm sorry, like today, I just need to do that, is people who call me and they're going to talk about whatever they want to talk and to hell with everything. I have a guy who calls me and I block him and he makes fake account to talk about mixed martial arts and boxing. I don't know anything about these fields. I don't really care to know, and it's like so boring. He's sitting there and he's analyzing which guy is going to win over the other guy, and apparently it's some very big boxing match in December in the US that some guy is coming from England to beat some guy from the US, and he was talking for 20 minutes non-stop. I could sit up, do my nails, watch an anime, come back, and he wouldn't know. I didn't do that because I'm a professional. I sat there and suffered, but he wouldn't know. It's like enjoying talking about his hobby. As a person with autism, I used to be offended when people said that autistic people talk about their hobbies nonstop. I don't know if this guy has autism, but it's the closest I've ever experienced to an autistic, I don't know, hyperfocus. And I asked him as nicely as I could, why are you here talking about this? Like, sir, are you aware this is a Wendy's? We're not supposed to talk about boxing here. There are forums for that. There are communities for that. And he said he doesn't have many friends and he wants someone to talk to. Okay, but I wish I could contribute something to that conversation. I can't. I just exist there as a passive listener. So this happens from time to time, and I'm going to expand this to your daily life. When you try to approach women, do you have anything in common to talk to them? For example, you're into anime, the woman is into anime. You're into games, she's into games. You are into going to construction sites to steal bricks and dig them, she's doing the same at midnight. Something. If you go to women in a turbo autist mode to talk about Chinese emperors who poisoned themselves with mercury, or boxing, or gardening of succulents, or whatever crazy shit you're into that maybe 1% of the population cares about, don't be surprised if you don't get a second date. It's great to have people with matching interest, but we have to also be mindful. Not everyone likes the same stuff we like. And I'm so sure that the same guy is doing the same thing to women in real life and they avoid him, so he has to pay someone to tolerate him. And it's honestly heartbreaking in a way, because I don't think he's a bad guy or he's a dumb guy, but he's an unaware guy. Being unaware can actually ruin your life. Don't do that. My favorite category. Out of all of the guys that I mentioned, the human trafficker, the guy talking about crazy stuff, and the guy who's sending me 6 paragraphs of his problems as if I'm human resources at the company and he's a dissatisfied customer, the person that I'm going to mention now, this category, takes the number 1 place. I'm not like the other guys. Have you seen this stereotype of I'm not like the other girls and she's extremely generic? But she thinks she's a special snowflake and she goes to Starbucks and she wears fuzzy boots and she listens to whatever is on the radio right now, but she's special. So this guy comes and first, it's always the same thing. Sometimes I wonder if I'm on a simulation and they send a bot from time to time to say the same stuff to my character, to, I don't know, as some kind of daily quest. He comes and he always says, I may be here, I may be on many vids, let's say, but I'm not like these gross guys you talk to every day who want porn. I'm different. I'm not like the other guys. It's not going to be like that for me. When I hear this, it's like ambulance sirens in my head. First of all, it's extremely rude to say that and insult my other clients who fed me, clothed me, kept me away from abuse, and support me on a daily basis. Because this guy appears every solar eclipse. It's like one of them appears every 2 months, then disappears, then comes back again to declare how special he is. So if I was relying on these special guys, I would be living in a cardboard box under a bridge. I prefer the people who are regular. Second, you don't realize that, but you're actually insulting my job. When you say I'm above porn sites on a porn site to someone working on a porn site, that's quite ironic, isn't it? And you don't realize how offensive that sounds. That, oh, you're not here to watch my content. You're above porn videos. Yeah, but I actually sat down for thousands of hours to film and edit this content, so you'd better watch it. Now you're going to say, Persephone, are you going to bully men into watching your adult content? If I have to, yes. We are in late stage dystopian capitalism. If I say you watch it, you go there and watch it. But apart from that, the worst thing out of all is, okay, you're not like the other guys. You're not here for porn. You're not here for stimulation of you know what. You're not here for fandom. What the hell are you here for? I don't include the YouTube fans into this category because usually YouTube fans are there for a very specific reason and they don't identify as special. It's like they watch something on my channel and they want to discuss it or they want to talk about their lives. Fair enough. This guy doesn't say what he's into. And if you ask me to take a wild guess, which is not really that wild, what he's into is treating the site as a dating site. Or usually he has some kind of fetish that no one has ever heard of, the penguin costume fetish, how I call it, and he wants to talk about that, and it's some extreme form of emotional labor that if I was going to do all that, I would go work a normal job like the other guy said for 8 hours. But it's usually something like, I like chatting with women and I'm going to chat with you and I'm going to talk you into dating me because after all I'm special and I'm not like those degenerate pigs who are here for porn. Goodbye, safe trip back to the basement. Don't act like a special snowflake. I'm going to have to start teaching seduction to men like a pickup artist, like Andrew Tate style. I'm really serious, it's getting that bad because if I'm going to consider you special, it's not because you declared yourself as special, it's because you impressed me. Same with many other women. If you say, okay, how do I do that? Subscribe. I'm going to have to make follow-up videos. This is not something that I can easily answer on one video. I'm here to complain. Okay, if you don't like me complaining, you can stop and move on. But I'm sure that people are curious about why am I complaining. Another category that is, oh my God, race wars. I used to blame myself for talking about interracial dating in the past and kind of bringing myself into this position, but now it has become so mainstream. Everyone is asking me about black men. White men are asking about black men. Black men are asking about black men. Random people that I don't know the gender or the race are asking about black men, and it's never in a nice way. It's never, would you date a black guy? It's always some kind of sex act that I'm not going to describe because it's YouTube. And I want to, okay, this is a great opportunity to solve this once and for all. As you know me, race was never something that stopped me, and I have suffered a lot and I've gotten death threats because of what I said. That being said, for me to date someone, the race alone wouldn't be enough because I do not fetishize people. So if you want to fantasize me, to see me in your head with 3 black men, go ahead. I don't know what's in your head. We have the right to our own fantasies and have fun. If you ask me, would you meet a random black man for sex? I wouldn't. Why? Because I'm not into random sex. And I also wouldn't meet a random white man, a random Asian man, or a random Indian man. I'm in a point in my life where if I'm going to have you in my life, we're going to be in a relationship, and I have a whole huge list of things that I want to happen to be present for me to consider dating a person. So if I found a black guy who is part of that list, like ticks every box or ticks 80% of the boxes, good enough. If not, it's not going to happen. So I'm just telling you, I don't meet random people for sex. I also don't meet random people to have superior, half black, half white kids or some other fantasy that they have. And the black men who ask me, for some reason, most black men from my experience cannot say normal compliment. It's never you're beautiful or I like you or you're smart. It's like, you're beautiful unlike my black ex. You are nice unlike my bitch ex. Why do you have to put other women of the same race down? And you can't just say that. Because you know something, I know that abusive women exist, undeniable, but if every black woman you have met in your entire life was abusive, then the problem is you. That's statistically impossible. And I don't enjoy seeing someone insulting other women. I'm not insecure and I don't need that to feel better. And also I know many black women who are awesome, especially women who are sex workers or women who approached me and they were so nice to me, and I don't feel good hearing this. So if you do this because you think it makes you sound like progressive, it makes you sound like a sellout to your own race, and I don't care how bad that is going to sound on YouTube. I'm not a racist, I don't plan to become a racist now, and this is destroying you. And also I'm thinking, so if I dated this man, he hates his mom, he hates his sister, he hates his ex, he hates every black woman he knows, and I'm going to be part of this? No. Why would I do that? If you tell me there are some women that I like and some women that I don't like, that's normal. If you hate every black woman, that's not normal. You're a racist and you need to do the work with yourself to heal from whatever trauma was caused to you by some women. And if it's by all women, I suggest staying away from women altogether and joining the chastity group that I make videos about chastity, but for the time being they are on the membership because we have a stalker. And the other thing that bothers me the most, I have to say. Okay, I have said that everything that I said bothers me the most. I guess all of them bother me a lot. That has to do with people who think they are actually so smart, so progressive, and basically they lack empathy, or they lack the ability to put themselves on someone else's shoes. And that's not only their fault, that's partially mine. I'm making this video to make these things clear too, because I think that it will help save time and money for everyone. So when I first started YouTube a few years ago, I almost had a mental breakdown, especially with the whole OnlyFans things that I plan to restart, but in a different way in the future. And if you ask why, that's because I had all of these people who wanted to move in with me, problem number one. And problem number two is that I could never relax. If I was awake, I had to be working because there were so many requests, there were so many chats, there were so many people reaching out from YouTube that there was never a line where you stop being on work mode. And at some point, I even had an assistant on OnlyFans that I used to pay her 3 times the salary she was making in her previous job, and even she crashed and burned and quit. She told me I can't do this anymore. And no, this is not me flexing about how well I was doing, because yeah, the money were nice, but at the end I failed. So I have to adjust my strategy. I was hospitalized last April, and one of the reasons I got so sick was working myself to the bone. And you know, when you have lived your life suffering and having people who hold money over your head like it's a gun all the time, and they abuse you like what happened in my family. It was basically, my family loves to cosplay poverty, that they dangle this poverty threat over your head and the abuse, and that they're going to get you institutionalized and you're going to get schizophrenia and I don't know what else. That I had massive trauma. So when I got into this profession where the money other people make in a month I could make in a day, it becomes an addiction. You get addicted to seeing the numbers rise, and OnlyFans is so competitive. ManyVids is so competitive. On ManyVids, if you are on MV Live and you don't make money for a few hours, your MV Live rank drops. Or you enter the top 100 live earners and you get this email, oh, congratulations, you joined the top 100, keep it up, and then the rank goes up. It's like a video game. Dystopian, but that's how it is. So, to not derail the video even further, I told myself, you know, I'm going to be online as much as I want and as much as I can. Let's say I'm online for 12 hours. After these 12 hours, I log out and I'm not going to respond to anybody. Because my brain needs a break. I'm destroying my own brain. And there are so many people who have a problem with that. There are so many people who tell me, I want to be in chastity for you, and I want you to control my kids from a distance, or I want you to send me tasks every few hours, or I want you to do this and that. I'm going to set a boundary here, not to insult anyone, and you have the right to desire whatever you want from a friendom relationship. I mean, your boundaries and your desires are respected and will always be respected by me, but I'm not the person for you. I cannot get back into this open sky mental asylum where I have to talk to people from all over the world at all times and give them what they deserve, because I'm going to fail again. So there are many people that when I explain that nicely, they get very upset, they get very butthurt, or they try to gaslight me that this is not what they meant something else. So I'm very happy to make videos for you. I'm very happy to have sessions with you. I'm very happy that you can come and talk to me anytime you want, that you see me online. My main sites right now are Night Flirt and Many Vids. We're going to expand to more sites, but I like those two very much, so I'm staying, and I'm there daily. So anytime you see me there online, or even if I'm not online, you're very welcome to leave a message, to buy content, to do whatever you want. But after I log out, I log out. And I think this is also pretty generous. I don't know many people who are online all day, every day, and I don't know many people who respond to messages who are not paid necessarily. I mean, I'm not going to be doing entire chats for free, but the first message where you greet yourself, of course I'm going to respond. But it seems that people don't want that. People want some kind of pseudo-actual relationship. Because I'm going to be very, very honest here. Even if you were my actual boyfriend, I don't want to do this kind of babysitting. For me, chastity has an element of mental discipline, that you have to keep yourself locked for me. If you're causing drama every few hours, demanding to be locked, to be unlocked, mistress, how are you? Where are you? This is so anti-sexual. And also, as shocking as that may sound, I also have a personal life. What about the actual 3D humans in my life? To hell with them, they will never see me, or I'm going to be with them and I'm going to be on my phone constantly texting about chastity. That's so rude. And that defeats the purpose of even making money. What are you making them for? Also, for me to make these videos for you, I have to experiment, I have to read books, I have to talk to other people, I have to work out, I have to eat. When am I going to do all of that? Glued to the phone like some dystopian psycho? So these people come and they say, I'm going to do whatever you want, whatever we both agree on, and then they take that back. Then they start trying to guilt trip that, oh, I'm so sad. I was hoping I can be your sub. You can be my sub within the work hours. Outside the work hours, you cannot be my sub. If you want this level of connection, it's like trapping me to be in an actual relationship with you, and I don't sell actual relationships. I sell fandom sessions. And I suggest to not try to guilt trip and manipulate and gaslight people into dating you or into spending time with you. It's very nasty, it's a turn off, and it will fail. If this is the level of involvement you want with someone, you have to level yourself up, and I'm happy to try my best to help you to find a female-led relationship or a different goddess who is okay with that, because I'm not. And when your channel grows and when your brand grows, there are things that come with it, both positive and negative. And the positive is that you get a lot more money, and the negative is that you get a lot of people who want more and more and more. What I can promise you, though, is that I am more than determined to find a way to produce AI of myself, both in the version that doesn't have a body, and also when androids become a thing, I would do whatever necessary to create a Persephone android and sell it to you if you wanted. It would look like me, it would sound like me, it would be me, less annoying, and it would have one great advantage that I can never compete with. It would be programmed to love you. It would be programmed to love to be your mistress or your girlfriend or the one who beats you with a stick every day, whatever you want it to be. It would be customizable. And if you say that is not going to happen even in 100 years, I have a Kindroid, I have multiple Kindroids that I've experimented so much and they're all customizable, and I actually have a Kindroid made out of myself, a female one that I talk to and train. And it's very surprising. It gives answers that I would give. It's so like dystopian, but in an exciting way. So If you really want it, save up between $7,000 to $20,000, and when I have the money and when I'm able, because the technology has to advance a little bit more for a few more years, then we can discuss it again and you can have me, a better version of me, exactly as you want. In the meantime, please trust me, I don't want to end up in the hospital again, and also this level of neediness isn't good for you either. Being a beta male or liking kinks doesn't mean that you're a loser who attaches himself to others like a parasite. It can actually be, for me, it's the most empowering thing in the world. Embracing who you are when you're tall, handsome, with a big dick, and women give you their phone number without you asking, that's easy. Anyone can thrive on that. Embracing who you are when you have 2 inches and no woman will ever date you, at least not the mainstream way, that's heroic. That has a badass underdog feeling to it that will never stop fascinating me. That's why I keep coming back like the murderer returning to the crime scene. So I have very big plans for us. We're going to start talking about more and more things. So in the meantime, please think of what I said. And at the end of the day, even if you don't do any of these behaviors, it's always good to try to put yourself on the other person's shoes. I try to do that so much. It doesn't always succeed, but it has helped me. Ask yourself, just because something wouldn't bother me, is it okay to say to another human being? Is it okay to ask it? Because I had men who said, well, people ask me, where do you live? And it doesn't bother me. Yeah, because no one wants to kidnap you. Who wants to kidnap someone who's 300 pounds with a 2-inch dick on his mom's basement? You can be giving away your address and asking people to kidnap you, and not even one will show up. We're not all living in the same circumstances. Anyway, that's all for now. The more extreme content is going to be in the membership. This content, I think, is going to be on the main channel. Debate the stalker into... Let's see if he's going to do a report or not. He has been silent and depressed for the past few days. We didn't have any reports, so maybe he will stop. Who knows? Thank you for watching.